Oh, well, we made it through a week off because Ben had the big illness.
Boo.
The big C.
Boo. What a selfish prick.
I've got little illness, and hopefully it won't affect today's recording, and I won't be sniffling and snuffling. Mikey, how are you?
Don't put yourself down, Peter. It's a big illness.
It's a big, yeah.
It's a
Don't
big. You're
sell
only
my
small.
illness. Yeah, that's true.
I've got a little wooze at the minute. Wooze, that sounds like I'm
Wooze.
a little woozy.
You've got the woos.
I've got the wooze, and it's not as fun as it sounds. I just went a little bit lightheaded before we started recording. It's just the excitement of
Oh man,
posting that blobby. It's god, I get
It's a
itchy.
big day. So you had a week away from posting the blobby.
Yeah, I'm itching to get back. I spent night after night just looking at images of that pink round man.
Yeah.
Grasping, waiting for him to
and
return
it
to
gave
my.
you the woos.
Oh, Blobby always gives me the woos.
I don't know how to. I'm trying to think of a way to continue the conversation, but I just can't.
What
I don't know how.
Change the
What'd you-
subject if you like.
What do you have for your tea, son?
I haven't had tea yet.
Oh, what are you planning?
I'm gonna have some. I'm gonna have some roast vegetables and
Nice.
couscous and hummus.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It's gonna be a pretty healthy one.
That sounds good.
all
In an
around.
attempt to fix my woos, I
Yeah.
treated myself to a bowl of chips and gravy.
Fantastic.
It kind of worked. It's perked me up a bit, but I think
Yeah?
that's just gravy and northerners, isn't it? It's
Well, yeah,
a
it's
life
medicine
force.
for you. Yeah.
yeah.
Did you eat lunch today? Could that be part of your woos issue?
I had a porridge for lunch today.
Wow, our porridge.
A porridge, a whole porridge. So that's probably like, well, is it healthy? Is porridge healthy? Or is it just kind of like nothingy?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I think it releases the energy gradually over hours. So
Apparently not, though. I must have conked out of fuel pretty quickly. Jeez.
maybe, yeah.
But here I'm here. I've got my
Yes.
gravy sloshing around my belly.
Yes.
I'm ready to go.
It is basically like in the north. That's kept in the medicine cabinet rather than the in the kitchen, isn't it?
Yeah,
If you feel I've got the woos
Do you want some
on.
paracetamol, or should I heat up the Bisto? What do you? Which one is it?
That's all we have in our medicine cabinets is Dettol and gravy granules. That's cures all ailments.
Bisto gummies ready to go
Yeah.
for the working man on the move. Peter, do you want to let people know just how much we know about the current blobby situation so that the Twitter assault can stop?
Well, did we get as far as saying we know about the wrestling in
No.
No, did we not? That's
No, I
not.
don't think it
We
happened
said we
yet.
knew about the suit, didn't we? Yeah.
Yes.
But no, we also thank you. We know about the wrestling. We know that Blobby wrestled. Someone did make the very good point that when Dave Benson Phillips was our thread starter on Podiots, he then returned went to the wrestling ring and wrestled. So now it's Mr. Blobby's turn because that's how we start our podcasts. So basically, we have the power to make anyone wrestle by turning them into the thread starter. So just
It's
name
quite exciting.
if you want anyone to make a comeback. Just let us know.
Absolutely. Additionally, it looks like I'm looking at a photo of the wrestling now with Blobby, and it looks like they've got a pretty legit suit.
Yeah,
It doesn't
had
look like one of
the
those cheap
noise.
ones you buy.
It had the creepy voice modulator thing as well.
Yes.
Is this the person who bought the £62,000 blobby suit, using it for good measure?
From the auction.
Yeah.
Well, it
Well,
can't be
There's
because
sad news there, isn't there?
yeah, their bid was retracted. They were like, no, I bid as a joke, and I'm not going to do it. Which is, I mean, fair enough. People who were inflating the price early on, but like, how crazy must you be to bid, presumably very late in the auction, 62 grand or however much it was?
I think their mistake, I was reading in an article that they let first-time buyers bid in the auction,
Yeah,
which
if
was
you have no
their,
bid history.
their downfall,
Yeah.
which is not good. But you knew someone who listed one, right? Or you knew someone through someone?
Yeah, I'm technically very loosely connected to an actual real life blobby.
Former Blobby.
a former blobby who still had the suit. So I'm not going to say who or how I know them, but I am somewhat connected to a blobby. I do need to get in touch with them and see if we can do anything fun with them. So maybe watch this space when I pluck up the courage to ask the embarrassing questions. But yeah, they I think they listed theirs as well for 15 grand, and I think
I can't find it on eBay.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that one did not get any bids, and so they've just taken it off and hidden in shame, sadly.
Oh, it's sad because there's the only one I can find on there now is got a starting bid of 8 grand and has 2 days left on it, and they probably listed it for quite a while. And I think it was sort of almost creating a false economy, the other one that blew up so much. All the other blobby suit holders were like, oh my God, we can fucking retire. That hideous pink thing in the attic is going to pay for our retirement. And so everyone got really excited and listed all their blobby suits for loads of money, and nobody wants them. And they look so grotty as well.
So we started at 60 grand, it went down to 15, now we're down to 8. It's just going to keep plummeting. So if you got a blobby suit, it's not even worth selling. Hold on to it. Wait for Noel Edmonds to pass, and then bam, that's the time to strike.
That'll be the next one.
Oh dear,
next big opportunity.
Sorry, Noel, I didn't mean to. That just came out. I'm sorry. Don't die.
If Noel ends up dead in suspicious circumstances, we can all point the finger at the people with blobby suits that they're waiting to go up in price. You know, they've got a motive to go out and kill Noel Edmonds now. So
do you reckon at Noel Edmonds' funeral there'll be a procession of blobbies that will be the blob bearers?
Blobby comes in and just stumbles through the church and just knocks into the.
He falls into the open coffin. Grave. There's one of them playing tabs, but it's just humming through the blobby modulator.
Yeah.
What do they sing at funerals? Is there a song for funerals?
Maybe the what's it called? What's that show that he hosted?
Deal or No Deal.
Deal or No Deal theme, maybe.
Well, I can't remember what the theme song for that was. I just want to hear some music.
I've ever watched it.
Well, the banker might do a eulogy. They'll just have to hold a phone up to a microphone. And he can do his speech.
It's just this. What a rich fame that we've struck across here. There's so many things that could happen at Noel Edmonds' hypothetical funeral.
Yeah.
I imagine that in the solicitor's office when they're sorting out the will, again, a deal or no deal situation, they have to pick briefcases and they find out what they're going to take home.
And also, I wonder how his lawsuit factors into it. Who was he suing?
Is it Lloyd's or something?
Yeah,
like some
Lloyd's Bank, I think.
Oh, what if representatives of Lloyd's Bank show up at the funeral, and because of this false economy, they repossess all of the blobbies with the men still inside them?
The bailiffs turn up to the funeral. There's like a whole pew filled with blobbies all crying.
What's the collective noun for a group of blobbies?
Oh, a blob lot, perhaps.
A blob lots, yeah.
That's good.
Just a blob lot, just shrieking in this horrible, distorted voice in unison.
And if you saw them all side by side, you would notice the differences. Like, some of them are probably a slightly different shade of pink. Some of them have like much bigger dots than the others.
Just different levels of degradation on the costumes.
Yeah, there's no way that they're all uniform. It would just look so strange.
Oh my God.
I can't wait for this funeral, guys. I'm really excited.
This is going to be event of the decade. My God.
Christ. Well, shall we start the podcast?
I suppose.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Podiots, the official Vidiots podcast. It's a conversational podcast where we take some questions from you at home and obey the law of the 3 R's, where everybody brings
a thing along to talk about.
I'm Ben.
I'm Peter.
And I'm Michael.
Good evening at the time of recording, gentlemen. Welcome back to the pod room.
Hello.
I've named it. It's got a name now. That was spur of the moment. I didn't mean to take that liberty from you. You got an alternative name for where we are?
I was thinking the pod room.
Oh, that's pretty good, actually.
The pod.
That's stupid.
Oh, pod. Come on.
Pod.
Silly.
Don't like that one.
Oh, sorry. I tried.
It's okay.
Sorry, I'm a bit distracted right now. I'm Googling Mr. Blobby Voice to see if you can buy, like,
Oh, just the modulator. Oh, my God. That's a great idea.
I mean, you could, if you knew if some sort of blobby engineer, which doesn't work, had the exact settings. It's basically just pitch shifting, isn't it, really? I think it's like 3 layers of voice with like higher and lower. If you just know the exact percentages to pitch shift, then you could easily do it.
Yeah, I'm going to look into that. There's got to be a way of doing it.
Please do. Please make that a future thing. The technology already exists for them to mass produce Darth Vader helmets that basically do exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
So surely we can just get a Darth Vader helmet and tweak it a little bit.
A blobby helmet would be way more fun than the Darth
Maybe
Vader
all
helmet.
you need to do is just paint it pink. And then it will work, like Mr. Blobby's voice.
Put a few yellow dots in it, bam.
Yeah.
It
It doesn't sound right. Can you try removing one of the dots? It's a bit too high-pitched.
Okay, I'm going to leave this for later because I will end up going down a
Yeah,
rabbit hole.
we'll lose you, won't we? We need you to stay focused because now it's time. Oh, thank you. Now it's time to talk about Pod Squad, where for as little as £3, if you donate by going to podiots.com, you'll get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the next episode of Podiots. You'll really flipping help us out in the process. And if you want to go one step further, I'm promoting it at the top of the show this week, you can go to vidiotofficial.com and there's a shop there. And we've got some actual merches in there. I think we'll probably talk soon about maybe putting on a new item. Very exciting. Keep your eyes peeled. We might talk about that next episode, perhaps. But Mikey, can you kick us off with the first, what's it called? What are you called? The Pumpy Platoon.
Pumpy Platoon. We begin with Donak07, Specky Becky, Alexa, the engineer, the generous Happy V-Day Caroline. They say, making this donation on Valentine's Day because the last several months have been a shit show. So, Evan, this is your Valentine's present.
Hey!
I love you so much, and now all our Vidiotic friends have to hear about it. Not even any snark this time. Kiss, kiss from Desi. Oh, isn't that cute?
Hope you're married.
I hope you're married. Bloody hell.
Settle down. We continue with another generous donator. The gorgeous Tommy Rico. They say, hello, boys. I would like to shout out my best friend Tom, who recently was a very nice boy and got me a celebratory wedding cameo from Ben. Look at that.
Congratulations. I do hope you're married.
Yeah, God, come on, guys, get it together. He introduced me to your content, and for that, I am a very grateful boy. Thank you, Tommy, and thank you to Tom. Is there a voice for, we're just normal men? Is that it?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I like that.
It's good enough. What do you mean, normal men? We're just innocent men. There you go, a tripler for you. Brett Shitman Shart. Matt Holmes added you on Skype. Working on. Yeah, that's a deep cut.
Wow.
Someone with intimate knowledge of things donated that.
Yeah,
I'm curious
who is
as to
that?
who it was.
Make yourself known privately.
The Farwell, the generous. I went to school with Sue Ridge. They say, I usually donate a good half dozen times with stupid names, so I thought this week I should also do a big boy donation so I can get a message read and leave a sincere and heartfelt message about what you mean to me. But I ran out of
Next time.
Next time. You'll get them next time. Thank you very much. Recall shilling for Turtle Beach. Not made from cum. Made from Vidiots instead of Bix. Oh dear. Stephen Skodes and Lord Brotovich.
We've also got Caroline, I'm locked in the loo. Fred, fuck you. Finn Tristram. Chexit means Chexit.
Oh dear.
Simon Miller is all elite. Your boy Milo. The very generous Mr. Macca, who said, damn, missed a couple of episodes, boys. No, you're not fussed, but have a little extra this time anyway. Of course we're fussed, Mr. Macca. It's much appreciated.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much indeed. One High Jocelyn. Tremendous protein value. Regret the shit man fart. Shit games for trunters. Shit donation for wankers. Yo mama, my batter. The very generous Blobby Wrestled Miller, who said, I don't have Twitter but wanted to join the spam. If you haven't seen it, I saw it on Simon's YouTube shorts.
Wait, I didn't know Mr.
Yeah, I forgot
Miller.
to say, did you know that Simon Miller was there, Ben? And
Yeah,
Mikey?
he was at that show. He was Stone Cold
Yeah.
Steve Austin, I think.
Yeah, I saw that, like, after the fact that he was also there.
Oh my God! Wow, what
Yeah.
a collision of worlds.
Everyone's, it's like however many degrees of Kevin Bacon. We're all like only 2 steps away from Blobby. Mikey, you know someone who is a Blobby. We know Simon Miller as well. So everyone's
He's a Blobby.
You never more than 6 feet from a Blobby, they say.
I mean, the amount of costumes that are lying about, it
Yeah.
seems so.
And if you don't know one, you're the Blobby.
That's it. Yeah. We've also got 10 minutes into motivate and chill, and Andy gives you this look.
We've finally the final group. I've got a massive Blobby, ABCD's nuts, Mr. Motorboater. This one's my favourite. Sandy Balls UK Holiday. The very generous I Come in the Land Down Under, who said, "Good day, boys. Mine Verlobter." What's that, Peter? Is that girlfriend, partner?
Hang on.
Boyfriend?
Look at this. No, I don't know. I think it's Rufflecopter or something.
Okay, my
Sounds like it.
Rufflecopter got us tickets to Empire Stripes Back in Sydney. Must be Strips Back.
Oh, the thingy. The
burlesque
Hey.
show.
burlesque.
Yeah,
Oh my
in
God.
Sydney a few years ago. I was apprehensive about going as a burlesque wasn't my kind of thing. I was, however, thoroughly surprised at the clever humour, and I think you boys should go. Well, if we're in Sydney or it's nearby, we should go.
Absolutely.
We should go to that.
Fiance is
Fiance. Lovely. Thank you. This is Mikey, please ignore. This is Ben, please ignore. This is Peter, please ignore. This is Ashton, please ignore. Thank you. Bop in the Bopopolis. Jimmy Quig. The wanking was a bit much for me. Jabba the Slut. Mr. Maltz Lofater. Jesus. Mr. Maltz Lofater. Prince Beefcakes. Bartek Kubitzer. Barfek Gagitzer.
Yeah.
Yeah? Fleckers forgot to donate. Cat's lost poster came home. Is that, I think, and then it says thanks again, Mikey. Was that, we had a poster problem, right? Or something?
Yes. I will preface this by saying 99% of orders got there successfully very quickly, but we did have one that got lost and it just floated around Europe for a bit, but we got it there in the end. That's the customer service you can expect from vidiotsofficial.com.
Yes. Wow. What a professional. The Walking Pleb. I make fart noise with my mouth. Big Titty Jesus 42 and Kermit the Pog. And that is your Pod Squad for this week. Remember, podiots.com, £3 or more to get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the show. Thank you so much, everybody, for your generosity.
Who?
And Jennifer Osity.
Apostrophe City.
Yes. Yes, precisely.
Do you have a favourite?
You saved me from myself there. It's the one that killed Michael, I think.
Mr. Motorboater.
Mr. Motorboater.
Yeah, 10 minutes into Motivate and Chill alone got me pretty
Yeah,
good.
I mean, that was good as well. I remember us talking about Mr. Motivator last time, but I have no idea what the context was. And
I think we accused him of being a drug addict or something.
and then it
no.
turns out it wasn't.
It was
Yeah, he came up and I think I accused him of being cancelled for some reason. And
right.
then,
Okay.
yeah. And then, it was revealed that he might have been a drug person, but it was a fake article. And
was.
everything's good in the world.
Everything's fine. We're all good. Peter, did you have a favourite?
I've got to go with either Mr. Motorboater or possibly the Skype one was good.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
Okay. You guys, would you like a question?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
This is from Dylan McKeaney, I think, at Dylan_simulator on Twitter. with Lilt being discontinued, what are your guys' favourite discontinued snacks and drinks? Milky Way crispy rolls are mine. I used to love those. Those were a real treat.
Oh, that's a hard one. Yeah. Yeah, the Milky Way ones were absolutely delight. Oh, the Mars Delight. Speaking of delights, Mars Delight was an absolute king chocolate. It had like little crispy wafer bits inside of it with a creamy
wow,
ganache.
yeah, look at that. That looks familiar.
Ooh.
Oh God! I think it must have been the mid 2000s. There was like the era of good chocolate because you had your Dreams as well.
Was that before the Americans bought it? Well, it's Mars, isn't it? It's Mars, not Cadbury. Still,
I was going to say that although I think you probably can still get Dream somewhere, they removed it from Miniature Heroes selection boxes, and it was the one white chocolate that used to be in there. Or it was the one white chocolate that used to be in any selection box, like any popular one. And I used to be able to have it, at Christmas or something, if someone had got some Heroes or brought them into school, and then they flipping got rid of the Dream. So then everyone else is enjoying their nice brown chocolate, their milk chocolates and their dark chocolates, and I'm like, no, give me the white one. Bring it back.
Oh, bless.
But also talking of delights, California-style Sunny Delight from like the early noughties.
Oh, yeah, the fluorescent orange one.
Dread to think what was in it, but although you can still get Sunny Delight now, I'm sure, like the sort of, when it was first popularised in the UK, I used to love that stuff. It was great.
Oh, yeah. God, is there any savoury stuff I'm not thinking?
Yeah, I've got a couple. I've got one in particular, and it's Turkey Twizzlers.
Turkey Twizzlers!
Yeah. And I was looking for a photo of Turkey Twizzlers back in the day when they used to sell them in schools, when you'd get them in a bread roll for some reason.
Wait, what?
Yeah, like a hot dog.
I don't know
never
if we
had
ever
that.
did, but
Oh, really?
I
We used to get them in.
happened.
Well, as I was scrolling through, someone's made, munchie boxes.
Yeah.
Apparently this is called a back to the 90s takeaway. But it looks like it looks like actual British tapas. Let me send you a photo. And considering the cost, they want 15 quid for this, and you could get everything in there from Iceland for like under a fiver.
Well, hang on. That contains all the constituent parts of the Worst Games Ever meal, for one thing.
It does. Do you want to describe what's in the box? I'll put it on the thread.
We've got some potato smileys, and of course we've got beans and chicken dippers. You know that if you're a dedicated listener based on what I just said. But on top of that, there are curly fries, turkey Twizzlers, which really do just look like kind of cartoon poos when they're like turds, aren't they?
I used to think they were like
taste like turds as
pigtails that were cut and fried up with the way they coil up.
Then there's some turkey dinosaurs, some mini waffles, which are just like
Potato
the Windows
grids.
logo.
Potato
made
grids,
up.
yeah.
Yeah, potato grids. Spaghetti hoops. And also, is that a pizza? Like a margarita pizza, mini one?
Disc. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love all this food, but God,
They are
what a
back.
sad sight.
The turkey Twizzlers are back, by the way.
Yeah, they are. They came
We
back,
must
didn't they,
have-
recently? I think they're just a completely new recipe and therefore
Legal.
legal again in the EU.
We must have talked about them at the time because I bought some and it would have been start of last year or even the end of 2021. It's been back for a little bit and they were shit. They were awful.
I
And
can imagine, yeah.
they were probably just as bad when they used to sell them in schools.
Yeah.
But they probably had more shit in them that made them
my-
addictive and tasty.
Michael, what an image with the inset Jamie Oliver. It'll be in the thread, but Michael Johnson has found a giant turkey Twizzler on a sort of podium with the words "They're back" written on it. I'm presuming this was some sort of marketing campaign for their return.
Does not look good. If that's how you market a turkey Twizzler, it just is it gold?
Yeah, it's a gold
Yeah.
statue.
Okay,
so.
that's slightly more appealing.
And there's a child pointing at it. They're in some. It looks like they're at like a stately home or something. It was probably a school.
It's probably
like a private
Bernard
school.
Matthews' headquarters
Yeah,
or something.
could be. But then in the top left of the image is a picture of celebrity chef in the UK, Jamie Oliver, looking a bit sad. He's clearly been papped in the street, and for context, he quite famously or infamously, depending on whether or not you are Bernard Matthews, led a campaign against turkey twizzlers being in school dinners in the UK.
He made turkey twizzlers the focal point of his campaign, saying the kids deserve better food in schools, but all they did was take out all the nice food from schools.
Yeah.
And everything then was just terrible for different reasons.
You guys must have seen, I don't know if it was part of the specific Turkey Twizzlers campaign.
I know exactly what you
or something since then. It may have even been in America, I don't know. But he's like trying to put kids off the idea of having a chicken nugget from McDonald's. So he gets a chicken carcass, he takes off all the good meat, and he says, that's expensive meat. That gets sold to butchers and they make nice things. But what they have left is this carcass, and it's just cartilage and gristle. And he grinds it all up. He puts it in a blender. He then adds bits of skin and connective tissue, blends it all up. He then fries it in front of them. There's all these kids watching him do it. He fries it, puts it in breadcrumbs, and he goes, oh, look at this. Oh, isn't it horrible? And they are sort of going, oh, yeah, and it's this pink paste. And then he cooks it up and he says, so who would eat one of those now? And then there's a pause of about 2 or 3 seconds. Then every child puts their hand up in the air and he just looks at them and goes, brilliant.
It's nuggets, isn't it? It's bloody nuggets. Come on.
It's still a nugget. They had to sit there smelling the delicious nugget smell. Of course they're going to eat it.
Yeah. How did we get here? Sorry, where
we're talking about things we wanted to unban. I've got another one, or not unban, bring back green tomato ketchup. That was a thing in the 90s. They just dyed it green. I'm pretty sure that's all they did.
Almost
they may still do
certainly,
specialty stuff, but yeah.
I mean, they probably dye it red as it is. It probably isn't red.
Almost certainly, yeah.
I thought of one. What was it? Oh, yeah. So this is a strange one. It's not like the food that I miss the most, but it's just something that I remember from back in the day. I used to have these little, well, they're quite big yogurts that were called frou-frous, right?
What?
Yeah, what? I know. FRUFOO. Give it a Google. And they were this ring-shaped yogurt, because in the middle there was a little tub that had a toy in it, like a Kinder Surprise.
Wow.
Oh!
And it was a pink yogurt. It tasted really good. It was strawberry. According to the label, it was made by Onken. I think they were European. I think they were German or something, but they were imported. And you got these little figures that you could build, and there were pirates and aliens and.
Sorry, I just found a YouTube thumbnail of frou-frous.
I was just waiting to talk about that. It's so good.
Das Frou-Frou Comeback 2019.
No way. Are they back?
I don't know.
Yeah. That's Das Frou-Frou. Oh, God, that's good. God, they look great, actually. I seem to vaguely remember
I recognise these, but I don't think I
good.
ever had one.
Yeah.
What the hell are these toys inside it? It's just animals on skateboards. Oh, that's rad.
Oh, wow, there's the Mario one. Unlicensed Mario at the end there.
Oh, is there a slightly problematic one in the middle?
Oh, yeah.
Bit, yeah.
I honestly can't tell if that is just a very racist depiction of a Native American or if it's supposed to be a goldfish in a featherhead
It's
dress.
hard to tell.
That's how bad it is if it is a depiction of a Native American person. There's also apparently a Mexican person who's lying on their back, which is also a harmful stereotype, I think.
Right, now we know why Frou-Frou went away.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Bloody
God,
hell.
these are horrifying. God.
I just remember enjoying them a lot. Like I say, it's not my my number one bring this back, but I'd love to just try one again.
Can you still get Transformer snacks in shops?
I think so. They're not officially branded, are they? They're just
No, they're just... Oh, it's Golden
just build
Wonder.
a car or something out of them.
Oh yeah, you get axles and then you just put hoops on them and turn it into a car. I remember.
Yeah, for those unfamiliar, it's a corn-based snack, and in each packet you get some circles and an axle shape, and you get to transform a snack and build a really shit car out of it. It's very novel, but it doesn't look great.
Yeah.
No.
Not really a functional toy either. It's not toy, it's food.
Oh my god, they brought the green ketchup back briefly for Shrek.
Oh, of
For
course.
God's sake. Of course they did.
But they also did blue ketchup, which I think is maybe a bit... I don't think I'd want that on my food.
Right.
And a purple one. Easy Squirt is what it was called.
Oh,
Lovely.
What were they thinking, says this article. The day ketchup crossed the line.
You've gone too far this time.
To be fair, the purple one does look absolutely
Yeah, on
rancid.
chips, that's
That
not
is
a pretty sight.
it's nasty, isn't it?
was it McDonald's or Burger King that did that black bread?
Oh, that was Burger
one?
King, and it made people's shits black.
Yeah, green, I think. It made people's
yeah, that
shit
was it.
green.
Oh, God. Have you ever had your poo change colour? I had a friend in school who ate like a massive bucket of sweets and he pooed green for about a week afterwards.
Yeah, I feel like I've spoken about this before as well.
Yeah, I had a friend at school who apparently, it was either him or his brother, drank a bunch of food colouring and they were shitting blue or something. I don't really remember, but sort of half a story. I recall.
I drank a load of grape juice at university. It was basically what I subsisted off for like a few days, and then I was shitting like a bird. And I feel like that's a conversation we had in early
You have
Podiots
told us
days.
that.
But yeah, it was just like it's just berries, isn't it? That's basically it's basically all I ate for a couple of days. So that was all that was in my system, like a bird.
Tasty.
Magical. Hey, let's move on to a thing.
Yeah, let's.
All right, I've got a bird-related thing if you
Have
want
you?
to go.
All right, go on, then.
Segue. So this was actually submitted to me as a weird Wikipedia. I was aware of this as a story, but I never thought to bring it along. So thank you to Josh Bean at Josh on Twitter. So his username is Josh on Twitter with 3 T's in Twitter. Thank you, Josh. So this is the story of Cher Ami. So Cher Ami, French for dear friend in the masculine, was a male homing pigeon who had been donated by the pigeon fanciers of Britain for use by the You
can't do
I
that
fancy a
anymore.
pigeon. No. Bring that back. Am I right? Pigeon fancying.
Let's go, yeah.
That's Hatterful Boyfriend, isn't it? The video game.
Yes. So he was donated
Why
by...
aren't more hobbies to have the suffix fancier, like train
Fancying.
fancier?
Because of the implication, the way the language is, you know why, Michael Johnson. Language has
Why do
changed
pigeons
a lot.
get the free pass? Come on.
Well, I've always been put off by the phrase animal husbandry as well. I mean, that...
I think lover to the end of anything, like I'm a dog lover, that sounds a bit off to me.
I guess so, yeah. So, Cher Ami was donated by the pigeon fuckers of Britain for use by the US Army Signal Corps in France during World War I and had been trained by American pigeoners, apparently. So in America, they call them pigeoners, but over here, fanciers, I guess. He is famous for delivering a message from an encircled battalion despite serious injuries during the Meuse-Argonne offensive in October 1918. Pardon my French, literally. So here we go. On October the 3rd, 1918, Major Charles White Whittlesey and more than 550 men were trapped in a small depression on the side of a hill behind enemy lines without food or ammunition. They were also beginning to receive friendly fire from Allied troops who did not know their location. Surrounded by the Germans, many were killed and wounded, and only 194 men were still alive and not captured or wounded by the end of the engagement. Because his runners were consistently intercepted or killed by the Germans, Whittlesey began dispatching messages by pigeon. The pigeon carrying the first message, "Many wounded, we cannot evacuate," was shot down. A second bird with the message, "Men are suffering, can support be sent?" was also shot down. The artillery batteries supporting Whittlesey's men attempted to provide a barrage of protection for Whittlesey's men on the northern slope of the Charlevoix ravine, but believed Whittlesey was on the southern slope of the ravine, resulting in a barrage inadvertently targeting the battalion. So they're under heavy fire.
Throw out another pigeon. No, not there. Leave us alone.
Cher Ami was then dispatched with a note written on onion paper in a canister on his right leg that read, "We are along the road parallel to 276.4. Our own artillery is dropping a barrage directly on us. For heaven's sake, stop it.
Perfect.
Very World War One. As Cher Ami tried to fly back home, the Germans saw him rising out of the brush and opened fire. After several seconds, he was shot down. But he managed to take flight again. He arrived back at his loft at division headquarters 25 miles to the rear in just 25 minutes.
Wow.
Helping to save the lives of the 194 survivors. He'd been shot through the breast, blinded in one eye, and had a leg hanging only by a tendon.
Oh my God.
Cher Ami became the hero of the 77th Infantry Division. Army medics worked to save his life. When he recovered enough to travel, the now one-legged bird was put on a boat to the United States, with General John J. Pershing seeing him off. The pigeon was later awarded the Croix de Guerre medal with a palm oak leaf cluster for his heroic service in delivering 12 important messages in Verdun. He died at Fort Monmouth, New Jersey, on June the 13th, 1919, from the wounds he received in battle, and was later inducted into the Racing Pigeon Hall of Fame in 1931.
Who else is in it? What other big names
That's
are
what
in
I
it?
want to know. Sadly, it's not hyperlinked on
Oh, that's
Wikipedia.
strange. Can we? Is it a physical installation? Can we go and see it?
Well, let me tell you, there is a physical aspect to this story remaining. So he also received a gold medal from the organised bodies of American racing pigeon fanciers in recognition of his service during World War One. In November 2019, he became one of the first winners of the Animals in War and Peace Medal of Bravery, bestowed on him posthumously at a ceremony on Capitol Hill in Washington. The American school children of the 1920s and 1930s, two American school children of the 1920s and 30s, Cher Ami was well known as any human world war. Will I get this sentence right? Okay.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah. To American school children of the 1920s and 30s, Cher Ami was as well known as any human World War I hero. I made it. I deserve the Croix de Guerre medal.
Well done.
Thank you. Cher Ami's body was later mounted by taxidermist Nelson R. Wood at the National Museum of Natural History. When the Smithsonian requested information about Cher Ami, the Signal Corps reported they could not find any war record of Cher Ami being the pigeon which carried the message from the Lost Battalion. Now that's like a bit of a strange. It's like, oh, what? So it's now in dispute as to whether it was him, and then that is never referred to again for the rest of the article.
Oh, right, yeah. But forget about that. Let's talk about this famous pigeon.
I think what it's meant to say is that like he is believed and known to have done that, but there's just no documentation, like historical, of interest to kind of no physical kind of stuff to show that anymore. Sadly,
well, I believe it, and that's
I
all that
believe it.
matters.
Me too.
Listing the known details of the bird, the Army, without explanation, described Cher Ami as he, and the Smithsonian label reflected the bird's sex as a cockbird.
Way fanciers.
That sentence had the word sex and cock in it.
It's a good sentence. It's one of the best ones today.
In 2021, the National Museum of American History, together with the National Museum of Natural History and the Smithsonian National Zoo, had DNA samples from Cher Ami analysed, which concluded that the bird is a cockbird.
Yes.
Since 1921, Cher Ami has been on display at the Smithsonian Institution. He's on display with Sergeant Stubby, the presumed Boston Terrier mascot of the US Army's 102nd Infantry, in the National Museum of American History's Price of Freedom exhibit. So there you go. And the article does continue with his depictions in popular culture and so on. But that is the story of the Lost Battalion and the pigeon that saved 197 lives, was it? 194 lives saved.
Well done, Cher.
What a hero. What a hero.
I can't, but I'm actually upset reading that, because if I stub my toe, I'm done in for 2 hours after that, and I'm ruined.
Yeah.
This pigeon gets shot and carries on. It doesn't even understand what's going on. Oh, I need to up my game. What a lovely little
We all
pigeon.
do. We all need to live up to the expectations set.
Unless one of you has done it already, I am now going to Google the War Pigeon Hall of Fame. But by all means, carry on with the podcast while I'm seeing if anything of interest is in there.
Okay, yeah, let us know. I've got a question here. Thank you for your thing, Peter.
You're welcome.
you, Peter.
Thank you once again to Josh for sending that in.
And thank you to the Brave Pigeon as well. For a second.
God bless.
For his service.
Cockbird. This question comes courtesy of Darius Owen Canning at Darius Canning on Twitter. When you were in school, did you have stationery envy? Was there a kid who always had the coolest pens or the wildest rulers and novelty sharpeners? What would your ideal pencil case be filled with? What would your ideal pencil case be and filled with?
Oh, man.
What did you think of those gel pens where they had scents? You know,
Smelly gels.
Smelly gels, and some people had loads of them.
I had a few. I quite liked them.
Did you?
But our year 4 teacher told us we weren't allowed to use them because they gave her a headache when she was marking work.
Bullshit.
Boo.
They weren't that smelly.
No, they weren't.
Right.
There were some really
Yeah,
nice
like-
ones. People would just sort of scribble onto a page and sniff the paper.
Yeah.
It'd be like blueberries and orange.
We used to
and...
hold them in our nostrils and just give a big old whiff. That was the best
Oh yeah, you could unscrew
administration.
it and sniff the back of the cartridge where the hole was at the top.
A
It'd be
generation
really
of
strong.
substance abusers.
Yeah.
My dream pencil case as a kid, which I did eventually get, was like a Coca-Cola can, but a pencil case, but it was like a soft, squishy one
Oh
with a zip
yeah, I
on
remember
it.
I think I
those.
know.
Yeah.
Oh, it's nice.
I've still
I
got my
had a-
secondary school pencil case, I think.
Have you?
I can tell you what's in it as well.
What?
Yeah,
my God.
Hang on, it's right here. It's I don't know what the brand is. It's still got stuff written on the back of it. Let's see. What does this say?
I can't believe you had this at hand.
You're
Wow.
a big daft cock. It says on it. Hi Ben. What does that say? Oh, there's a bit of graffiti from my French pen pal that I saw a long time ago.
Nice.
This just says England on it. It's very faded. There's the anus is written here in big letters. And it appears to have a couple of... You remember Lonsdale trainers? And when you used to buy them, they had
Yes.
those little like boxing gloves that were like a key ring. You remember those?
Yes.
I've got a couple
Yeah.
of those on the on the zip. Let's see what's in it.
Brilliant.
It's just a load of shit in here, I think, now.
Old pencil shavings.
We've got
Gary gum.
We've got a biro, a Ipsos Mori pen. I don't know what that is. Some Tipex. What's this a pen for? Studentcleaning.co.uk. This clearly came to uni with me as well.
Yeah.
And a pencil from Jamaica that's got a little Rastafarian person on the top, with beads and everything.
And where'd you get a pencil from Jamaica from? And don't say Jamaica.
From my aunt who visited Jamaica, I believe.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. So that's a little case study there. Pencil case.
Very good. A case study.
There we are. Put that away.
The main thing that I liked about pencil cases was the graffiti. I quite liked the having people sign and scribble and doodle on your pencil case and you on theirs and you on your own. So it's probably for about 2 years running, I had a pencil case that on the back of it, the whole thing was it was like a side-on view of a VW camper van. But it was all in white, and it was the kind of printed kind of transfer plasticky thing that you could draw on. So that ended up just slowly over a couple of years getting covered in people's names and doodles and probably several cocks or cockbirds perhaps. And nothing's changed really because something that for some reason me and maybe 2 other friends would often draw either on our pencil cases or on each other's like folders or whatever was little cartoon walruses. So,
Oh,
and I still, get sent walrus doodles today by all kinds of people. So that goes right back to probably year 9 or something. And we all thought it was terribly funny to say walry instead of walruses. That was, really, really clever.
It's pretty funny, though, to be fair.
Yeah.
You could build a career off that.
You could.
I don't think I was much of a stationary man other than my fake can one. Everything else, I think, towards the end of school especially, just ended up lumped in the bottom of my backpack and just dug around and tried to find anything that would work when I got to my lessons.
Well, in terms of actual stationery, contents of the pencil case, one thing that I always wanted was one of those Ultraflex rulers that...
the bendy ones.
Yeah, bendy ruler. And our physics teacher told us not to have them because he said, there can be some plastic deformation. And so he thought that they weren't as accurate as rigid rulers, which I'm sure they probably weren't. But did it matter? No. You could put it in your bag and not worry about it snapping in half.
And you could play with it.
Yeah, you could play with it.
Wobble it all over the place.
We had a kid who had one of those, and the corner of it, he just slowly chewed down. This was, like a sort of 14, 15-year-old boy, but he would just like bite a little bit off it every so often. And eventually it would just, be missing an entire corner.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I've tried doing that with a standard ruler.
I've been desperately Googling. Do you remember in the late 90s, they did these big stationery sets that you could buy, and they were often themed around popular franchises. So I think I might have had a Darth Maul one, and it was in the shape of sort of the bust of Darth Maul, and it was quite big. And you popped it open, and it was filled with felt tip pens and all sorts of other things like that. Do you remember that? I didn't even know what to search to find it. 90s art station? Would that work? No, I don't know. I don't even know how to look such a thing up. I know someone listening will know exactly what I'm talking about, because I think fairly recently I saw someone post about it saying, wow, these were shit, weren't they? But
letters on a postcard, please. Letters on a postcard, please. Is that what they say?
Yeah. No.
Oh, wait, what is the phrase?
Maybe.
What is it, Craig Charles?
Answers on a postcard, please.
Yeah, not letters on... Wow, God. Oh.
That's a picture of Jeremy, by the way. I forgot to send it to you.
Pigeon.
That's the mounted.
Oh, yeah,
mounted
1 foot. Look at that.
Yeah.
Very good pigeon.
Amazing.
I can't easily find members of the Hall of Fame, so it's not going to happen.
I did find one pigeon Hall of Fame. I don't know if it's the same Hall of Fame, but I'll share it anyway. There's lots of the word cock on the screen for the sexes, but it's a good little gallery of birds.
Oh, wow. Look at those.
Boys and girls.
Why are the humans holding trophies and not the birds?
Yeah.
That doesn't seem right.
Wow,
Does
these
disgusting.
pigeons are immaculate. Look at them.
These are the supreme champions, it says at the top.
The very best cockbirds going. Bloody hell. Well, I actually have a thing that's related to France, so we can continue the vaguely related things.
Let's go.
I've got a couple of sources here for this. One of them is a write-up.
Any green ketchup? Sir.
One of these is, I'm so glad I took the time to process what you said there so I could understand it. One of these is from cracked.com, but I hate the way they've written it up because it's super like, hey, we're cracked.com and we're hanging out. You and I. I'm going to address you
cool.
like you're a buddy of mine. I hate it. So I'm instead going to read this photo of a book that I don't know where it's from. I found it on Twitter a while ago. This not even a screenshot. It's a photo of a real book. It's a page shot, I suppose. So here we go. In France, a splendid duel was fought in 1400 between a suspected murderer and his accuser, a dog. Gonna let that sink in for a second.
Accuser?
Yes.
How did it accuse?
Well, you'll find out.
We'll find out.
The Chevalier Marquis, I think, killed Aubry de Montdidier in the forest of Bondy near Paris and buried the body. The only witness was Montdidier's greyhound. The dog went back to town to a friend of his master's and led the friend to the spot where he whined and scratched the ground. The body was recovered and reburied, and the greyhound moved in with the friend. Shortly thereafter, it met up with Mikey and attacked him viciously. 3 men had to pull it off him. The dog was an otherwise gentle and amiable sort, but it kept on flying at Mikey whenever it saw him. This was reported to the king, who decided it was definitely an accusation and arranged for the single combat trial. The fight took place on the Isle of Notre Dame in Paris, Mikey with a lance, the greyhound with its natural weapons, it says. The dog sprang on the man with amazing ferocity and clamped its teeth around his throat and couldn't be shaken off. Mikey screamed that he'd confess if they pulled off the dog. This, in contemporary eyes, proved the justice of combat trials pretty conclusively, and Mikey was hanged and strangled on the gibbet at Montfaucon, maybe?
Lovely.
Yeah.
That is lovely, yeah.
So the article goes into more detail, but this was doing the rounds on Twitter a little while back because there was a trial by combat between a man and his victim's dog, which is extremely unusual.
His accuser, I think you'll find.
Sorry, his accuser, the dog, woof, said the dog. There's a little more info in the article about it, but that's basically the gist of it. I think we all know that trial by combat doesn't necessarily prove who's correct, but certainly back then, the way they saw it is that if the defendant prevailed in the fight, that meant God supported his defense. Otherwise, God judged him guilty.
Of course.
Because that's naturally how it works. And also, upon further inspection, in a much more wordy and grown-up article, which I didn't bring, it was actually purported that this is more of a fable than an actual story, because there are numerous accounts of this from the 14th century, but or at least pointing to the 14th century, but they're from subsequent records years and years later, and it's more of I don't know, what's the term I'm looking for? A message with a story? What's that? A story with a message?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Fib? Parable?
A parable, thank you. Yes, it's more of a parable than anything else. You know, I don't know what that would be. Don't bury your friend in front of his dog.
Yeah.
That could be it, potentially.
I know the word parable, but I'm not very good at making parables.
Not very good at making parables.
Yeah, they're working out the moral of the story.
Oh, I see. I wasn't very good at working out the moral of that sentence. Well, that was a very short thing, but that was literally it. I just enjoyed the story of a trial by combat between a man and his victim's dog, his accuser.
It's just as well because I nearly brought a shorter thing this time, so maybe next week I'll do that, or next fortnight. But that's great. I don't mind a short and sweet one when it involves a greyhound engaging in trial by combat with a man after accusing him of murder.
Exactly, and it may not have even happened. So not only did I bring this news to so many people today, but I've also got to tell you that it actually might not ever have happened.
We do live in the age of misinformation. Or disinformation.
Or Mr. Information.
Yeah, that's true.
Depending on who you're talking to. But yes, if you see this doing the rounds on Twitter again, it may not actually have happened, but it's fun. There's also a little bit of art.
It's fun. Oh,
I don't know.
Let me see the art.
I don't know where this was taken, or if it's just a somewhat relevant photo that was found and put in the article.
Oh, nice.
There appears to be a man engaging in some kind of combat with a dog. I don't really know. It's hard to read into. It's too zoomed in.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun being a lawyer back then. Just let God decide who's the right one here. Have a fight, and whoever wins. Great, thanks.
Yeah.
Let's go to dinner. The good old days, eh?
The good old days, yeah. But you could always fall afoul of the same logic, though, and the same rules, Like, what if you're like, well, this is ridiculous, but I'm tired and I can't be bothered, so you guys go ahead and do trial by combat with a dog. But then what if a dog starts acting weird around you? Maybe it's a drug-sniffing dog. And then the king says, well, you're clearly guilty of a crime, so you've now got to fight this dog. And you could have spoken up earlier. You could have spoken up earlier and said, hang on, guys, there's got to be a better way to do this. And no, you've now got to fight a dog.
I'm not going to disrupt the status quo. It's everyone gets to watch the fun unfold, and sometimes the audience becomes part of the spectacle, and that's just luck of the draw. Yeah, it's all part of the system, baby.
Right. If dogs are being treated in that kind of equitable way where they're pretty much on a level with a human. What I would do is if I was a murderer and I had killed, say I'd murdered Mikey for good reason. What I would do, Ben, is I would find a dog that I would think I could beat in a fight and either accuse that dog of killing my friend Michael Johnson or just try and get it to just act aggressive with me. And then I would have the fight and then I would be exonerated.
So what you're saying is you're going to find the smallest, most dainty dog you can find and then pummel it to death.
Gizmo.
Gizmo
after he's already been half eaten and dropped by a seagull.
Yeah,
you're going to kill Michael Johnson and then say, well, I think it was this dog. And then you divert all. Not only do you draw a massive amount of attention to yourself for no reason, but then you kill a dog and shift all the blame onto the dog posthumously.
Just in the nick of time, a seagull comes in and swoops him away yet again.
I like it. I think this could work. I think we're onto something there in 1400s France.
The perfect crime.
Absolutely. So look out, Mikey. What's going to happen to you?
Well, keep your cute dogs inside. Peter's coming from to pin a crime on them.
Yeah. Jesus.
Have you guys, just thinking of that, did you guys see, it was also doing the rounds on Twitter, this was ages ago, like 4 or 5 months ago, of a graph of, it had the US and the UK, and it was animals that people think they could beat in a fight. Did you see that?
Good, yeah.
No!
And it was, I'll have to find it. Again, if you'd like to carry on, by all means, please do, and I'll send it to you in a minute when I found it.
Okay. Well, I do have another question here, if you guys are ready.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Jamshed, at Mighty Jamshed on Twitter, says, "You're convention guest level famous. You've been invited to sign a bunch of autographs for some Vidiots," and then it says in brackets, the Vidiots fan base. "And someone asks you to sign your most famous line on their Vidiots merch. What's the line you write?"
I guess I just fart on a card and give it back to them.
I feel like Peter has a few, actually. I can immediately think of two. I was trying to think of one for me earlier and I couldn't really do it.
What do you think mine would be?
Your vagina is beautiful.
The ones that are read out at your wedding.
Shut up, Cheggers, you're dead would be the other one.
Shut up, Cheggers, you're dead.
Would go
What's
on.
that then? Possibly.
Yeah.
I would probably want consent to write "Your vagina is beautiful," but anyone who wanted me to write that on their card, I could quite happily do that.
Did I ever say anything worthwhile all through Vidiots?
You definitely have, Mikey, and you know what? We can get a little bit of backup on it because we're on the Yogscast wiki, and the person who did each of our things does have a couple of quotes on here.
Okay.
Well, Mikey did just say, I don't know if you, Mikey just said the ones at my wedding, because the viewers won't know that at my wedding, my father-in-law, his speech partly involved, I think he Googled my name and found the Yogscast wiki entry and read some of the quotes to the room of 80 people, including the quote, "Your vagina is beautiful," completely out of context.
I feel like we might have mentioned that on the podcast at the time.
We possibly did. It went down a storm, as I'm sure you can imagine.
It was unexpected.
Yeah. What are your quotes on there?
Well, I'm looking at Mikey's now. Mikey doesn't have any quotes listed, but it does say that one of his aliases is Farty Boy, all one word.
God, I really am a one-trick pony, aren't I? Still to this day. I never evolved. I was more of an action man than a word man, you know? I was known for what I did rather than what I said.
Just scroll ha 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 because you contributed many good laughters.
Many good laughs, yeah. Oh, I like...
Yeah, I was just
I believe it's on the Margaret video where you say, "I'm going to be sick," because you're laughing so hard.
I'm going to be sick. Or the tell your friends after the Stoke-on-Trent worst game selection with the farting.
There you go, yeah.
That was a good one. The quotes that it's got for me are kind of generic ones, really.
Nerds.
No, that's not on here. It's Bobby Babalooni. Not the worst, just worse than most. Boys or girls, hope you're married. I want to die, and die is in bold and all caps for some reason.
Whoa.
Peter Austin, welcome to the BTA. I don't know what that is.
What the hell is that?
What about the annoying cup, or is that just all of them? What's up? I'm Dick Mychinko, which is not. That's not from Vidiots anyway. I don't think, is it?
No.
So I don't know if any of those are remotely.
The annoying cup. Do you know what that is? What's
The
that?
annoying cup.
Yeah. What's that in reference to?
It must just be from a
no
worst
idea.
game episode, perhaps.
Yeah. How strange.
We really should, ahead of the next person among us to get married, change these quotes to more glowing, shining things just in case they get read out again.
Actually. Well, maybe that's what we request now, is that the pod squad for next week, if you can fit it in the oh no, I don't know how you do it, because you've not got many characters to do it.
You could just update the wiki for us and add some new quotes in there.
Yeah, people can just don't go and sabotage it, because I don't want to see it sabotaged. But add actual information based on videos and podcasts if you'd like to. That would be fun.
It would actually be really helpful, because I can't remember anything. I can't remember literally a thing that I said in 2018.
No.
Not one thing.
Oh.
So, yeah.
It is Beans time. Who said that?
That's true.
That's you,
said
Ben.
that one,
I think you said it, and I did the card for that.
Yeah, so okay.
It was a good. I don't know if I said this at the time when we were doing Beans time recently, but that was a real 3-person, whatever the word. It was a real team effort. I think it came out of your mouth. Mikey had made all the assets, like the 80s, 90s kind of retro stuff, and I think I did the edit and used that card and wrote "It is Beans time" on the thing, and it all came together to Beans time.
It wasn't even we didn't even really enjoy it at the time, did we? It was only last year.
No, we just said it. Yeah.
It was only last year that we really enjoyed It Is Beans Time.
Yeah.
So who knows? Hey, a lot of people listening to this podcast or watching the video version they've probably watched a lot of Vidiots, and some of you still do watch Vidiots regularly, the old stuff from 2018. So consider yourselves on a mission now from the three of us to pick out some quotes and add them to our wikis.
We doth you the official archivists of Vidiots. Please go forth and document our ramblings, please.
Yeah.
But do not, as Peter said, don't abuse your privileges on the wiki.
This is a gift.
Don't be messing
No point,
stuff up.
because it'll just be removed. So yeah.
So help us out, listeners. We love you.
Thank you.
Mikey,
Yes,
you got a thing?
I do. Continuing on the animal theme, I've got a fun little oddity from history to share with you all.
Good. I have found the graph, by the way.
Ooh.
So maybe when you're done with your animal
No,
stuff, I'll tell you.
give us the graph. Give us the graph.
Okay. I'll send it to you in the chat, and we can break it down between us.
Yeah, I'm trying to
here it
think
is.
what animals I could beat up now. Oh, okay.
Brilliant.
So the blue dots are what the Americans think they could beat, and the red dots are the Britons. And consistently, Americans are more confident in every possible animal that they think they could beat in a fight. It ranges from a rat, where 60, I think this is percentages, must be percent. 67 to 72% of people think they could beat a rat in a fight, and 2 to 6% at the other end believe they could beat a grizzly bear.
Wow.
In a fight. 6% of Americans believe they could beat a grizzly bear. 8% believe they could beat an elephant in a fight.
What? Do they know what elephants are? Like brick houses. Jesus.
Gorilla is the scariest one to me. There's something almost comedic about trying to fight a lion or an elephant or a grizzly bear, because it's like absolutely not. But a gorilla, I think, it's just a wall of
You're
muscle.
sort of eye to eye with it.
Yeah,
aren't you?
it would. Oh God.
Weirdly enough, the one that everyone thought they could beat on that one, the rat, is probably just one that I would say I couldn't. I
tricky.
Yeah, exactly. Tricky. House cat, fine. I could slap around a house cat, but a rat, no, that's a whole other matter.
A goose, as well, is the third most popular I could beat in a fight. That's Well, it's a big range, though. Only 45% of Brits could, they say, and 61% of Americans could. I could quite happily fight a goose if I really had to. I mean, with all of these things, it's like you don't want to harm an animal, so that would probably factor in to a certain extent. Like, I wouldn't thoroughly enjoy kicking a cat in the head.
No.
But if it was life or death, I could just grab a goose by the neck and I just turn it into a hammer. And
Yes. Flail that shit around.
flail it around. You'd break its neck almost immediately if you used its own weight against it, surely.
So I've just clocked at the bottom here. This is an official YouGov poll?
Yeah, it was apparently YouGov. I don't know if it really is, if someone's just added the logo, but
It's important research.
Oh my God.
you need to know your sources.
All this tells me is that Americans are too boldly overconfident in their abilities, and Britons need a little bit of a pep talk, I think.
Well, all of those,
Yeah.
most of those should read 0, to be honest. None of them,
Yeah.
there shouldn't even be 2 for grizzly bear for the UK.
No, that's silly. That's very silly. The people who answered yes to any of these should have then been forced into a room with said animal. All right,
Go on then.
Send them to
Prove
the
it.
Colosseum. Make them fight for the fucking emperor's approval.
Oh, dear. Anyway, shall we resume my story?
Yes,
Please
yes,
do, Mikey.
yes.
Sorry about that.
Oh, it's all right. No, that's a very worthy interjection. Thank you, Peter. When Philip II, the King of Spain, visited Brussels in 1549, he made a grand entrance, complete with wild animals and flames. Still, by all accounts, the most impressive part of this procession was an organ that played, quote, the most singular music you can imagine. The quote-unquote organ comprised of 20 narrow boxes, each containing a cat. A cat whose tail was tied to a specific key, and when anyone played the instrument, the cat's tails were pulled, quote, producing a lamentable meowing each time. So yes, Prince Philip II had a cat organ at his disposal.
Oh, God.
This is the very first documented mention of a cat piano in history, or the Katzenklavier, if you want to get German about it. But it was far from the last. This torturous instrument popped up in philosophical, oh my God, philosophical, that's right, yes. I can do this.
I just said the same word 3 times.
Oh dear, what percentage of words could Michael confidently beat? None, apparently. Philosophical, scientific, and psychological texts until the 19th century. So once this kind of appeared in the zeitgeist, it popped up for like over 400 years later. Most people today wouldn't find cats screaming in pain very amusing, but early modern Europeans had a very different attitude towards cats. Cats were frequently associated with the devil and loose morals, and weren't held with the same regard as they have in today's world. It would be easy to write the instrument off as eccentric or odd, but if that's all it was, why did it crop up again and again throughout history? It's no coincidence that the cat piano made its first appearance in a royal procession. Royal spectacles were all about testing the limits of possibility, and at a glance, everyone could see that the king could accomplish the unthinkable. Which is quite great. He's got a box full of cats and hitting them. That's unimaginable, my God. And the king's power wasn't subject to the usual restraints of money, imagination, or nature. Essentially, these kind of displays were just there to make kings look like gods, and just all these all-powerful beings who could do whatever the hell they want. By parading his bear-powered cat piano through Brussels, yes, it was a bear that was playing the cat piano, apparently. My God.
Sorry, that's just a little footnote there.
Beat it in a fight.
Apparently, yeah. If you beat the bear in a fight, you get to make it play the instrument of your choosing, and he chose cat organ. I think the whole scene here was just like a whole cavalcade of animals, all doing random stuff, and I guess the star of the show was the bear playing the piano. And with this, Philip II showed the world that he was undaunted by convention. What a weirdo. He wanted people to marvel at the wonders his reign could produce. The same went for French King Louis VI, who made his own spectacular pig organ. I think a similar setup where pigs are made to emit sounds. By making fantasy reality, kings could draw symbolically closer to God. Yes, I'm sure God is smiling down on these kings with these torture machines. My God. But what made animal music such a potent symbol in these times? Absurd as it may seem, the cat piano proved that these rulers had tapped into the underlying rules of nature, the harmony of the spheres. Harmony of the spheres is an ancient concept which maintained that the universe is all governed by this like harmonic mathematical relationship where basically everything's the same and there's this energy flowing through everything that kind of dictates everything. And while the harmony wasn't always audible, for centuries, philosophers argued that certain sounds could elevate humans, bringing them closer to this divine order, and cats were a litmus test for how deep this celestial harmony could go. So cat piano creators wanted to show that these mathematical harmonies permeated all of creation. If out-of-tune meows could be synthesized into music, surely anything could. What other natural harmonies had escaped humans' notice? Cat pianos, as a result, inspired generations of music theorists, and not just a weird one. It's got people thinking. I mean, I'm sure it got people thinking. Like, what you don't just leave that room and go, "That was fun, wasn't it?" No, you ponder that for weeks. What began as means of accessing the divine glided easily into farcical entertainment for common people, though. However, in the 18th and 19th centuries, cat concerts were all the rage.
What a sentence.
Cat concerts are all the rage. I'd so go to a cat concert, a modern one. Wow. Take, for example, the Parisian. Oh, it's French and I'm crapping my pants. Please, boys, help me. How do I say this word? Malik?
Oh.
Malik? Maliki?
Meow. Oh, it'll be meow as in meow.
Oh,
cat.
concert.
Meow leak.
Yeah, it must
I guess.
be Meow League.
Take, for example, the Parisian concert meow, I guess. That's a good name. That's a lot better now. I know what it means. So in this concert of meows, in the middle was a monkey who kept time, while the cats made cries or meows that were altogether, quote unquote, laughable for some reason. Again, twisted, messed up people in these times. In London in 1758, the animal trainer Samuel Bissett staged an immensely lucrative cat's opera. And more than a century later, enthusiasts reported that cat stage companies were still all the rage. I can't believe this is. I tried to dig for more info and got cat opera meant. There's not really a whole lot out there. I imagine it's just animals dicking about on stage and screaming in pain, most likely. Sadly. But yeah, for centuries, the dog had been the top dog, to pardon the pun, in upper class families. They were the animal of choice. But cats were kind of slow to catch on in Europe, often seen as transgressive and wild, suitable only for killing rats. Cruel though it was, the cat piano may have paved the way for changing perceptions of cats. Over time, it's possible that the anthropomorphic entertainments like the cat's opera helped endear felines to a wider public. You go to a nice evening out with your partner, and you know what, a cat singing the opera, maybe cats aren't so bad, eh? But the ancient...
It must have just been a cacophony, though. It must have been awful.
Howls and screams. Yeah. I mean, they must have done well enough, but...
Yeah, people kept going.
I mean, I guess there wasn't much else on the TV that time, so you were stuck with the cat opera, whatever that may be. But this ancient idea of curative music, like kind of music helping people, gained some traction during the early modern period. And in 1650, the German scholar Anasius Kircher reported that the cat piano was an excellent cure for melancholy. He cited the example of a depressed Italian prince who couldn't help but laugh at the cat's frantic music. Oh, little pick-me-up.
That's what they say, isn't it? When you've got depression, just laugh. That's it. It's gone now.
Have you tried being happy? There
you go.
Have you tried just smiling, being happy?
Yeah. Wait, let me wheel out the cat piano for you. This will do the trick. This observation predated the discipline of psychology entirely. So this is people thinking about how to change the psyche before psychology was even really being thought about. But later writers took note of the cat piano's therapeutic potential. One of the 19th century founders of psychiatry, Christian Riehl, argued that the cat piano could help patients who were lost in constant reverie, daydreamers in another word. Daydreamers, he argued, had trouble paying attention to objects in the real world, but the bizarre, jarring nature of the cat piano could jolt them back to reality. Which, I mean, sounds about right, yeah. According to Rail, mental illness was an affliction of the nervous system, and all psychological problems could be traced back to the malfunctioning of the brain and nerves. Sensory jolts, like the cat piano, brought the mind back to itself, and they held a vital key to mental health. And that was a common trail of thought for a little while. But in spite of all these numerous sightings and stories of the cat piano, there's no actual hard evidence that they ever existed other than in stories. Over 400 years of, it's just 400 years of people writing and talking about the cat piano. There's not one single shred of evidence of it ever actually happening. I want to believe that the story of the prince with the bear and the cat piano is true, but shit, there'd be something concrete about that. That'd be written about for centuries afterwards.
It's like the dog duel all over again.
Yeah, I know. Oh, no, we've disappointed twice. I'm sorry. But at least if you want to hear a kind of modern equivalent to the cat piano, there's a very good video of Nora the piano cat. This is wonderful. It's just basically the owner recorded the cat kind of just tapping about on the piano, and then a full orchestra came in and accompanied it and played it to an audience with projections of the cat playing the piano on the screen, and it's actually quite moving. It's very good. It's just these sorrowful little peep, 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 peep on the piano and a full orchestra swelling behind it is very good. And in more recent times, if you want a less cruel alternative to your cat organ, someone made a cat organ out of soft toys, and it is an absolute sight to behold. I assume most people have seen this video before, but it's someone playing the song from Wizard of Oz, Over the Rainbow, with just this. I'll send a picture of it. It is just a bunch of cats taped to a box.
Oh my god!
There they are. Oh my god!
He just runs around.
No, I've not seen that.
Oh, it's very good. Guy plays a cat organ. It's called on YouTube. I highly recommend looking it up. It's actually quite good. That's a brief history of cat organs, be it real or fake. That's for you to decide. But I love it anyway. I don't love it. It's horrible, actually. Don't do that. It
sounds
to cats.
pretty cruel.
Yeah. Yes, it's a terrible thing. Leave it in the history. This is not for modern day.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Amazing there. That's interesting.
Thank you so much, Michael Johnson.
So it's just interesting that something reported on so many times, there's no hard evidence. Like, people at large don't say it's real, but why is there all these stories about it then?
Huh? Where do they go?
Why isn't it on the NHS for melancholy?
Yes. Should be.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, it's time to do a couple of pluggaroos here. If you'll indulge us and listen to the end of the podcast. Don't you flipping go anywhere yet. Don't you go anywhere.
Don't do it.
The good material's still to come, starting with Michael, there's a shop, right?
You're damn right. If you go to your web browser of choice and type in the magical words vidiotsofficial.com and head over to our little shop section, you'll be greeted with a bounty of goodies. Oh, actually, we hit 100 orders now on our shop the other day, so thank you, everyone.
Brilliant.
Hey,
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for supporting it. And if you want to get us closer to that 1 million order number, which we're aiming for, you can jump on the website where you'll find T-shirts, cap, stickers, mug, and hoodie. What a delight. It's got all your favourite Vidiots things on it, like Meat Face, the PS1 logo, and that's the two. Those are the two best things. But yeah, go head over to vidiotsofficial.com and have a look. I really should write a script for this bit, because I kind of have a rough guide every time I do this, but it always goes weird ways. I'm trying to peddle merch.
I like it. It's meandering.
See where we end up.
You nenever know where you're going to say, so it's always
Neither do I.
YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all.com/Vidiots
Official.
Discord, if you go to vidiotsofficial.com/Discord, you will find it. And we'd like to thank Tommy and Fleckers for moderating us over there.
Thank you.
Appreciate it a lot. Twitch.tv/Vidiots Official. Occasional live streams. Haven't done one for a while. Might happen at some point. Who knows? Go give it a follow. Podiots.com. If you head there and donate £3 or more, you'll get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the next show and join Pod Squad. Let's go through them again, please, Michael.
Donak07, Specky Becky, Alexa, the engineer, the generous, Happy V-Day Caroline, the also generous, gorgeous Tommy Rico. We're just normal men. What do you mean, normal men? We're just innocent men. Brett Shitman Shart, Matt Holmes, added you on Skype, The Farwell. I went to school with Sue Ridge. Recall Shilling for Turtle Beach. Not made from cum, made from Vidiots instead of Bix, Stephen Skodes, and Lord Brotovich.
Also, we've got Caroline, I'm locked in the loo, Fred, fuck you, Finn Tristram, Chexit means Chexit, Simon Miller is all elite, your boy Milo, Mr. Macca, who was very generous, thank you, One High Jocelyn, tremendous protein value, regret the shit man fart, shit games for trunters, shit donation for wankers, yo mama my batter, the very generous blobby wrestled Miller, 10 mins into motivate and chill, and he gives you this look.
And finally, we've got I've got a massive blobby, ABCD's nuts, Mr. Motorboater, this one's my favourite, Sandy Balls UK Holiday, the very generous I Come in the Land Down Under. This is Mikey, please ignore. This is Ben, please ignore. This is Peter, please ignore. This is Ashton, please ignore. Boppin the Bopopolis, Jimmy Quigg, the wanking was a bit much for me, Jabba the Slut, Mr. Maltz Lofater, Prince Beefcakes, Bartek Kubitzer, Barfek Gagitzer, Fleckers forgot to donate, Cat's Lost Poster came home, The Walking Pleb, I Make Fart Noise with My Mouth, Big Titty Jesus 42, and Kermit Zerpog. Thank you, everyone. £3 or more, podiots.com. Join Pod Squad for next episode. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Peter, what's out on Vidiots this week 5 years ago?
Well, this week, and including the extra week that we've got to deal with here because we're doing an episode a bit late, we have launched the channel.
Hey!
And we're like 3 weeks into it. So we began with Worst Games Ever, Prison Break, The Conspiracy, which is now unlimited ads. Welcome to Vidiots. In the Spotlight, Crossing Souls.
Oh,
Vidiots Welcome and Q&A Extravaganza. That's the one that's got loads of views because the thumbnail says, why did you leave What Culture?
Yes.
Post Some Tat number 1. Prove It, Cooking Mama 3 Part 1. We've got the Paris vlog, Le What's Next Defocus 2018. Memory cards for February the 12th, featuring State of Emergency, Aliens, Colonial Marines, Game Boy Advance SP. We've got Prove It, Cooking Mama 3 Part 2. In the Spotlight, Vampire, which is one we saw at What's Next Defocus.
Did that game ever come out?
What's that? Vampire?
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Oh, it did.
Vampire.
Oh.
Yes, it did. It did come
Vampire.
out. I think it was fine. It was
It
alright.
was fun.
It was fine.
Nice.
It was fine when we went to see it as well.
It was.
It's just fine.
I remember being sat in that dark room playing the game. I had very little interest in it, and so I just tried to fuck around and break the game. And the creators looked at me quite sternly. I don't think they were happy with me dicking around with their hard work.
Anyway, Post Some Tat number 2. We've got stickers. In the Spotlight, Greedfall. Nintendo Labo is brilliant. Creative fun for all ages.
Oh, that was a good trip. Still, that
good.
was a very fun one.
It was. I enjoyed that day. It was a good day. And we had that fancy car. We went in a really nice car to London.
It had water bottles in it, didn't it?
It had water. I mean, now you get that in all Ubers, but back then it seemed quite fancy.
We got to ride in the fancy car 3 times in the end, didn't we? It was BAFTA, the Lara Croft Tomb Raider thing, and Labo.
Nice. Oh yeah, I think it was actually BAFTA, what I'm thinking of for the fancy car, but maybe it was the same fancy car always. I don't really remember. Then we've also got In the Spotlight, Call of Cthulhu, the official video game. Prove It, Cooking Mama 3 live action challenge, where we made the pizza, our first cooking foray. Nice. In the Spotlight, A Plague Tale, Innocence. All these In the Spotlights were from that Paris event. Then we have memory cards for February the 19th, which was the PS4, Star Fox, and Metal Gear Rising. And then finally, 5 ways to know if Toad from Mario is secretly seeing your wife.
Yes.
A crowning moment of the channel.
That was one. That was certainly a video that we produced while we were there. Wow, what a promising start to a great channel that still lives strong today. Are you able to see on the dashboard, Peter, how many subscribers we've lost in the past 28 days?
Let's see.
Can we
Is this
guess?
a new segment of the podcast?
Can we guess how many?
I want to say 250.
I think we've lost 57.
I'm trying to find... where is it?
Will it not say on the dashboard?
Analytics. It doesn't say on the front page. Oh, here we go. Well, I'll tell you, it's better than the last 28 days. We've got an upwards green arrow.
What?
Because we only lost we only lost 7 subscribers.
Yes, that's not bad.
Improvement on last month.
That's not bad for a channel that uploads twice a month and it's a static picture. We're doing okay. I think.
It says that our subscriber count has increased 86% more than in the previous 28 days. But I think what that means is
the losses are that much.
It's
better.
86% smaller. Yeah, the loss. Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I want to see how many we've bled since the channel.
Oh, you're going to get sad. It's going to make you sad.
No, this is funny. That's not bad, actually. Do you want to take a guess since 2019? How many we've lost?
3
about
or
5,000.
Peter was bang on. 5,000.
Whoa.
That wasn't me peeking, I promise.
Peeping.
So, yeah, that's not bad. I can live with that.
Yeah, that's not too bad. We continually lose Twitter followers as well for a similar reason, I think, because we just post random shit on there now. But even
just
so,
post photos once a fortnight.
Yeah, the real ones, they know. The real hardcore, not those fair weather listeners or viewers or followers. We don't
People
need
were
them.
saying in the comments of a recent episode where we talked about where people switch off at the outro, we said if you listened, I think it was the secret question. We were saying if you listen right to the end, let us know. And there were a bunch of comments saying I do.
Oh,
but I guess
that's
it's
so nice.
There's a slight bias in the sampling there because everyone who didn't know to say in the comments
exactly.
that they don't.
Wow, there were so many comments saying that they did. Nobody said that they
everyone
don't.
who commented.
Nobody said they didn't listen
to
to the end. Because I'm guilty of that. I know
me
my
too.
podcasts that I listen to, and I know when they're starting to wind up, and I know even the sections I'm not interested in. Or it's just a time thing. It's no disrespect to the person making the podcast. There's just too much content out there, but it's all important metrics. It's good to know. Wonderful. Well, Mikey, where are you on the internet?
At Parrot Boy on Twitter, where I also continue to bleed subscribers. You can go and check it out. What have I got on there? Oh, just me screaming at a building. That's nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Go check out a video of me shouting at an art installation. For context, there's the Light Festival in Bristol, and one of the installations was someone put a microphone in front of a building, and each window of the building had like lights in it, and the building would light up and react to what you were saying, and everyone was like going up, saying little phrases, and I just chose to scream down the mic.
Brilliant.
How loud can I be in this building?
It's art. It's actually art this time. Peter.
Yes.
Where are we on the internet?
We are at Team Triple Jump, both Ben and I, and also Ashton Matthews, putting together video game related content and also various bits of silliness. But you can also follow us separately on social media, on Twitter, at confused_dude and at that Peter Austin.
Excellent stuff. Well, why not leave us a 5-star review on your platform of choice? It helps something to do with Al Gore's rhythms. We would really appreciate it. It does help a lot, I think. And that feels like the right thing to say, doesn't it? It helps a lot.
It helps a lot.
It's all good. It's all like healthy internet stuff. And it's free to do that. That would be really great. We know times are tough. You maybe cannot support on Pod Squad or through the shop. Leave us a 5-star review.
Yeah, if you like.
That'd be great. Would really appreciate that. Do we have a final question before we fuck off?
What animals could you beat in a fight? If you go on the thread or just do some Googling, you'll find the full list. Let us know where down the list you draw the line.
That's a good one. Where do I draw the line? I already drew the line at rat, didn't I? So I fell at the first hurdle.
I think I could take a gorilla. I think I could do it. I've been thinking about it. I think I could do it.
Rip that costume off that thing.
Yeah, there's a man in there.
I feel like if I really worked on my technique, I could probably beat a king cobra if I did, if you did the right thing. But if you made one false move, you would be dead. And also above king cobra, as in arguably easier to fight, is chimpanzee, which I would absolutely not want to
no
fight
way.
at all.
No,
I don't want to.
Terrifying.
No, thank you. Well, thank you so much for listening/watching, everybody. We will see you in a fortnight's time. Look after yourselves. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.